name is Chad Ennis. I've worked in a wide variety of industries, but most currently I've been working in education as of late. Before I was joining this program was making the transition into a more autonomous life. I think that I just had a lot of things that were happening and I was just looking to find something new, something that could better utilize my skills towards a particular life design and setup. I mean, to be honest, terrible. It's kind of hard trying to figure out a way to, transition into a life where you're entering into entrepreneurship and a little bit more of a self-guided life. 2 years ago, I had met Ray, and I always kind of loved the way that he had a view on things and how he was able to just kind of like cut through your questions and give you solid, concrete answers. And personally, I just admire a lot of the work that he's done. And then the following year, I actually met up with him again, along with his wife, Laura. And I had a conversation with them over breakfast at a conference. And everything that we talked about was amazing. And then when I found out that there was a pilot program that was being started, I knew I had to get in it somehow, some way. The most successful thing was just giving me a particular mindset, a way of viewing life, a way of viewing entrepreneurship, a way of taking action over your life. Even though, I'm not perfect yet, I definitely have learned a lot of the tools and the methodology and thinking that I think will help me achieve great successes moving forward. This is the furthest that I've ever gotten when it comes to any program like this, and there's a few that I've done. How doable the tasks were each week. You kind of think that you can't do these things because you tried it before, whether it's market research or using ChatGPT or reaching out to people, all those things. I mean, it's incredible to get past the initial 8 weeks and to meet again a month later, and then you could see that very intrinsic way you've kind of developed in ways that you didn't expect. Yes, you're doing something in order to achieve a certain goal, but in the process of attempting to achieve those goals, you're actually learning different skills and different ways of being that progress you and develop you in ways that you don't necessarily anticipate. If this was something that was offered 10 years ago, even more, man, I don't know. There's so many things that I probably wouldn't have done. I would have tried things sooner, but whatever, it comes in due time, due process. But I think I'd be a little bit more sure-footed. It would have just helped me curate certain skills and abilities a lot sooner and then move me towards what seems like an inevitable goal currently. Since I have this methodology for one and I see how it works, it's so interesting to talk to people and see that they also have all sorts of ideas that they want to do. And now that you've kind of gone through the process yourself and you kind of understand how things work, it gives you a whole different access to a different echelon of society, in my opinion. People who you normally wouldn't meet, especially when it comes to like the reach out portion. That's probably been the best part. And when it comes to opportunity, it's like I've developed now a way of kind of seeing the world. I perfectly understand now that life in I don't want to say just an entrepreneurial regard, you start to see problems and opportunities, and you start to understand what people need, what they might need. You see things that people don't know that they need, and then you start having all these ideas and you're starting to realize that, there's always going to be this massive cache of ideas. It's like a resource that you could always call upon to try. Life just becomes far more adventurous. Going back to maybe the way that I had been living before, it just seems more of an impossibility now. So I think just having a wall at my back kind of pushes me more towards a new beginning. Absolutely. The value that can be derived from this is just so epic. All the things that I've learned, really. It all just seems so inevitable that, I think people need to know that this way of thinking, or this possibility even, is available to virtually everyone, especially if they have internet connection. And especially now, since I'm kind of traveling through an older world, I really see how much people don't have that vision just yet. And in some way, it's very alienating, but it also shows that you're on the right side of history. This is the next coming thing, whether it comes to education, business, whatever. It's just so blatantly obvious for those who are in the know. I would just say, just give it a shot, man. It's a massive regret to not have ever invested in yourself and attempted to do something in the world. There's many shoddy programs, but this one, even in its pilot, I mean, you know, it's like a step above the other ones that I've done, but at least gives you a fighting chance to really bring about value. And I think that that's something that's missing. You could always be giving something to people, and also just to become an educator. I think so many people are like so down on themselves because they don't think that they have anything that's valuable. When you take week 1 and then you kind of combine it with week 8 and you start to see how things are molded, you really begin to understand that, yeah, it's a grind. You have to kind of figure out where you're gonna get people to appreciate you and where they're going to buy into what it is that you're offering. But you just really see that you just always have value. What I love about this program is that through each activity you show yourself. It's just a great introductory program to people who are just looking to enter a new wave of business. I think the information is just so valuable, and you get it at such a premium price that it's just second to none.